What's up, Marvel fans? We're the Hills Maniacs, and today we're going to be predicting who we think was the hooded figure that shows up at the end of the first episode of Loki. So, if you watched the first episode of Loki, you know that at the end of the episode it was showing a hooded figure who has apparently been traveling through time and killing off members of the Time Variance Authority who have kind of been called there to investigate what's going on. This person's traveling through time and taking stuff or whatever they're doing, and then that person has been killing off those agents. So today we decided we're going to think about who might be behind the hood. You'd think it would be obvious, but I don't know.
I mean, at this point, because it's episode 1, it could legit be anybody. Yes. But my pick for my first pick, at least for who I think is under the hood, is Jar Jar Binks.
Oh,
I think this is Darth Jar Jar.
He's coming back
and he is now traveling into different galaxies to roll as the Supreme Lord of the Sith.
And now the MCU's Time Variance Authority is caught up with him.
And that's why they're bringing other universes and other galaxies and other times, because we know Star Wars was a long time ago. And so here we go. Jar Jar Binks.
This was the Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
I think that would have made those movies a lot more interesting. I think it would be funny if it was actually Jar Jar Binks.
It is Jar Jar Binks.
Misa Jar Jar Binks!
Yes. It is Jar Jar Binks.
They're going to take off the hood. Who the heck are you? Misa Jar Jar Binks! It would be a cool way to connect Star Wars to the MCU.
That would be great.
I think a more serious one that it could be is maybe Doctor Doom or something. I don't know how exactly that would work, but we know there is going to be some multiverse stuff coming up in the MCU. I don't know, maybe this would be a way to introduce the Fantastic Four villain and then somehow incorporate that with maybe the quantum realm or something. Maybe Doctor Doom has been living in that city that we see in Ant-Man and the Wasp that everyone's talking about, because I guess in the comics he did, I guess it was called the Micro World or something like that, where he was actually shrunk down and forced to live there, and he ends up ruling it as this kind of god-like figure. And the Fantastic Four put him there, so maybe this could be a way to, bring that out as well.
True.
It could be Doctor Doom, and I think that would be really cool.
That would be cool. That would be a great way to introduce him, as long as they follow up with how he's able to travel through time.
Well, yeah.
Because you can't just be like, oh yeah, he can travel through time, because that's all of a sudden Doctor Doom's
He stole
power.
some tech from the Time Variance Authority.
No, but even more serious than Jar Jar, I honestly believe that this hooded figure is Tim the Enchanter from Monty Python. Because he can summon fire without flint or tinder. And he did it in this, technically he dropped the lantern and lit the thing.
He made fire, though.
But he made fire. He made the whole place catch on fire. So, I think it's Tim the Enchanter.
Another one that it could be, I think it's probably John Wick. He's good at just taking out, but this was his new assignment. He's assigned to take out members of the Time Variance Authority so that he can go through time and everything else. And the table that he works for, or under,
can travel through time. Yes.
Or trying to interrupt the flow of time.
Yes, definitely John Wick. Okay, on a serious note, because I have been joking around with these last two, Jar Jar and Tim the Enchanter, I really believe it's Mickey Mouse making sure that the MCU stays the way that Disney wants it by killing off people that may change what he wants to happen, and Disney needs to keep it going in the direction they want, but the TVA won't let it. So, because maybe Disney wanted Loki to escape because they wanted Loki to survive. And then the TVA over here just, taking him away and preventing that from happening. So this is Mickey Mouse trying to put the MCU back into the order that Disney wants the MCU in. It's Mickey Mouse.
True, it could be.
Yes.
You just see the ears poking up out of the head as they take off the hood.
It's not obvious who it is.
Nope. Was he also the mouse in Avengers Endgame?
That was also
he's
Mickey
grown
Mouse.
up to be a
See?
villain now.
He's a time traveling mouse.
Alternate reality Mickey Mouse.
See? There you go. Time travel.
MCU. Okay, so clearly it's Voldemort. He's trying to travel through time, to fix everything. He's making himself the villain.
And this is how he can live forever.
You thought he was just targeting a school, but he actually escaped.
This is how he can literally live forever.
Yes, he's found a way to travel through time. He's going through and trying to kill all the wizards, but the Time Variance Authority keeps interrupting him. So now, so Voldemort is in the MCU now.
Or on that note, it could be Snape because at the end of I know we see Nagini kill Snape. But we never see his body, so he could have escaped and traveled through time, and now he's out trying to bring Lily Potter back to life so that he can spend life with her, and the TVA won't let him. Hey, maybe it's Snape. See, I like that. There we go. Combine all my favorite series. What if it's a combination of like Voldemort and Jar Jar? And it brings both series in. Like, there's one version that's Jar Jar and one version that's Voldemort, and you just bring everything together.
Oh, jeez.
Then what?
Then there's really a multiversal implosion. Yeah. But, okay, so in all seriousness, though, I think this person is probably, like, Kang the Conqueror, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Because I think, he is being introduced in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I think this is the way they're going to introduce him. Because this is all about time travel and everything. So I think the story they're going to go with is he's like a rogue TVA agent who discovered maybe we should be using this for more. Like, why aren't we using our ability to time travel to our advantage to gain more knowledge and more weaponry and everything else? Because in the comics, Kang the Conqueror is from the future, I guess. Or he travels to the future somehow. I forget exactly how that happened, but... And he uses the advanced technology from the future to fight the Avengers of, like, the present day. So it's, like, thousands of years in the future or something. So this could be the start of that. And then he ends up escaping again and ends up in the quantum realm where he comes out in the main timeline in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. So I think that's probably the most logical person that it could be.
Either that or it is actually some variant of Loki who it could be a new character. It could be that female Loki that's been rumored to be in the series.
You also mentioned to me when we were discussing this earlier, you said it could be like Mordo.
Yeah, or somebody, or even like maybe Caecilius, like before he got
like
killed by
through
Dormammu,
time, trying to get the time
or some
stone
variant of them. Like maybe at one point, Doctor Strange never comes into to the Sanctum and meets the Ancient One and stuff, and so Mordo ends up with the Eye of Agamotto, so he can travel through time now because when the Ancient One dies, he's the one that takes over and has to stop. But because of Doctor Strange, he couldn't do that in the sacred timeline.
Right.
So he travels to one where he could actually be the Sorcerer Supreme, which I think would be because they haven't. They had WandaVision. And they had a new villain, Now they had
a couple villains, I guess.
New, they weren't really
Falcon and the Winter
main
Soldier
people. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Technically it was just Sharon Carter, but whatever. And even in the upcoming movies and stuff, like Black Widow has Taskmaster. The Spider-Man is going to have people from the other Spider-Mans that haven't been in the MCU yet. So this could be the first movie other than like the Avengers movies that have the same villain that could then play into another movie. So Mordo
I feel like they're missing an opportunity if they don't do that.
Yeah.
Like make this person, because obviously I'm pretty sure this person is supposed to be like the main villain of this series.
Right.
The person that Loki's or the TVA is gonna be chasing after through the whole series and probably use Loki's help to take
and if you're introducing Kang in Ant-Man 3,
that seems a bit underwhelming.
Then you really don't need this to be Kang the Conqueror. Because you're introducing him in
I think
Ant-Man
this would be
3.
a nice subtle way to do it.
They could if they were going to, but you really don't need to. Because if you're going to spend that movie, Ant-Man 3 talking about Kang the Conqueror and how he's back and they got to fight him, then why waste the time doing that same thing in Loki when you could introduce either a new villain or one that we haven't seen or heard from since something happened to them. Or what if it's Red Skull now back because
I was just gonna say
because they took the Soul Stone from Vormir.
So now
twice actually. Yeah. So what if now he's free?
He found a way to get back to Earth or whatever, and the Time Variance Authority was like,
because in they put him there to guard the Soul Stone, and if the Soul Stone's no longer there, then technically Red Skull could be anywhere. I don't know how he'd get. We don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it could be Red Skull. So, Mordo, Red Skull, or Kang the Conqueror, I think, are
Mickey Mouse.
My top 3. And definitely Jar Jar. He's definitely up there on the list, yes.
But who do you guys think is the person that's the hooded figure in the Loki series? Let us know down in the comments section. And be sure to Loki this video and subscribe for more. We're going to be talking about this series as it progresses throughout the week, so stick around for that if you're a Marvel fan every Saturday right here on our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Subscribe.